choosing the right Criterion is always difficult. You know, they're all so good, you know? Do you want something classic, something modern, or something weird? Do you want to watch something that you've already seen, or do you want to blind buy something that you've never even heard of? I've been there. I'll tell you right now, actually, most of my Criterions are something new, something I never experienced prior to owning them. Most people would call that a blind buy. I call it playing Russian Roulette with my wallet. Now, I'm here to help you figure out 10 Criterion releases to pick up. And I guarantee it to you that each of these 10 releases are worth every penny, especially if you get them half off. First up, we got The Gunfighter by Henry King. Now, The Gunfighter stars Gregory Peck, and this is the OG, moody, dark Western. Not saying there wasn't any beforehand. This is just one of them. It stars Gregory Peck as the fastest man in the West, and that comes with a reputation. And usually that reputation comes with death. And anywhere Gregory Peck goes, someone wants to challenge him to a duel. And I'm not talking about the one with playing cards. I'm talking about a duel with pistols. And the thing is, Gregory Peck always wins. And this is really waning on his soul. He can't live a normal life. He can't get a good night's sleep. He can't even eat properly. Anytime he goes into town, he gets kicked out. It's kind of sad, but it's the price that he pays for being the fastest gunner around. I would say this is an excellent film for anybody who is a fan of Westerns, and even if you don't like Westerns. It is a family drama in the core and a character piece about the darkness of society and what we really don't like to talk about when we talk about fame. Pick it up. We're going from black and white to pop color art with Tokyo Drifter, directed by Shunji Sukazaki. Sorry about that. Tokyo Drifter tells a story of, well, a drifter. Just kidding. It's a Yakuza story where this hot-blooded Yakuza male gets into trouble and he has to go on the run. This is very much in the vein of what something like anime will become, or if you've seen Goro the Assassin films from the 1950s, around this time. What really makes this film unique is the color and the cinematography. The cinematography is beautiful, showing the vast landscape of Japan itself, and you see this Tokyo Drifter walking all over Japan during the 1960s, seeing all the colors. I believe there's a beautiful snow scene in it. There's a great scene where he goes to a bar. And I do say bar because it's a Western themed bar, and that's what this film has in spades. It is a noir film mixed with a Western. This main character even whistles his own theme song. How many movies has that? I don't know. I would recommend Tokyo Drifters to anybody looking for a classic Japanese film that's not an Ozu or Kurosawa. Pick this up. Now, this next pick is going to be a little controversial because I think I'm the only person in the world that likes this film. That loves this film. I love this film, and it's one of my favorite films from this director. That's why I'm recommending it, and that is Wes Anderson's Bottle Rockets. I know. Most of you are probably thinking, why Bottle Rockets? You could recommend anything else. Any other Wes Anderson film, and it would be much better. Well, maybe some other time. But I don't think it's much better. This is not, say, quintessential Wes Anderson. You know, he becomes much more flamboyant later on. But this is him and his buddies, the Wilson brothers, at their most infant. And I love it. I love the story about these criminals with delusion of grandeur. James Caan as like this master thief that screws everybody over, and it's pretty funny at the same time. Owen Wilson gives a amazing performance that he's been giving since this film. Luke Wilson has never been better. I love this film. This comes with the short film that pretty much helped Wes Anderson make this, and I love that film. It's my favorite short film ever made. By itself, it's worth the purchase. So don't listen to the haters. Pick up Bottle Rockets. You won't regret it. This next film is, in my opinion, one of, if not the most underrated film in the collection. And that is Johnny To's Throwdown. Now, Throwdown is kind of neo-noirish, but really this daydream, surrealist Murakami vision. It's about these three separate souls. One is a ex-judo champion, one is a current judo champion, and one is a rising, well, she, in her brain, she thinks she's a rising star. And it's kind of like these three comets going past each other, kind of like, not star-crossed lovers, you know, this isn't Shakespeare. There's a little Shakespearean in it, but not that kind of Shakespearean. But it's how all these people are colliding at this moment in their lives and how they change each other's lives for the better. The cinematography is beautiful. It may be the best cinematography out of all these films I'm recommending. This is a beautiful film. If you have never seen Johnny To films before, he's a Hong Kong filmmaker, usually known for his gritty crime films such as The Election, Duology, Exile, Running Out of Time. But this is a more softer film. There is crime elements to it, and there's this one beautiful scene where the three main characters are talking to three separate parties, and they're kind of playing like musical chairs where they each start talking to the other person's guests. I don't want to give too much away. It's a beautiful film. You will not regret buying it. Out of all these films here, I would recommend this one the most because I would love to see more Hong Kong films coming to America. So pick up Throwdown by Johnny To. This next film does not need an introduction. The two filmmakers that made it are still working today, and they're still some of the best that have ever done it. That's right. That's the Coen brothers' Blood Simple. Their first film. I love the story of this film, the backstory where the Coen brothers filmed a fake trailer and they went around looking for investors just like Sam Raimi did for the first Evil Dead, who Sam Raimi was a mentor to the Coen brothers. This is a neo-noir film. If you haven't noticed by now, I love the noir films of the Criterion Collection. If you want a blanket recommendation, I recommend all the noirs. Pick them all up. They're all fantastic. The story is quite simple. It's called, it says Blood Simple. It's about a bartender getting involved with his boss's wife, and the boss's wife hires like a private detective, and they take pictures, and all this stuff happens, and regular noir stuff. The story is not really the highlight. It's really the execution of the story. Halfway through the film, there's a 20-minute sequence where it's just silent, and it's some of the best filmmaking you'll ever see, and it starts right here in Blood Simple. You should pick it up. Man, I didn't know how many noirs I picked, but this next one is a true noir, Moonrise. Moonrise is kind of like this surrealist film that really caught me by surprise. This one, just like all the other ones, really need to be watched instead of, if I told you the story, it wouldn't really matter. This film is an experience. Pick it up. I didn't know this either, but I've chosen 3 films that are the directorial debut of their respective filmmaker. Badlands by Terrence Malick, the first film of Terrence Malick. Badlands, young lovers on the run. If you're into Bonnie and Clyde or They Live by Night, you'll be into Badlands. It's a beautiful looking film. Is it as artsy as Malick's other films? Heck no. But is it just as good? Heck yes. Pick it up. This next one is a French film classic, The Earrings of Madame D. Now, if you don't take my word for it, Paul Thomas Anderson says it's a beautiful film, and he's absolutely correct. This is probably some of the best cinematography you'll ever see. The wonders of this film is like no other film. The opening scene shows elegantly over Madame D's shoulder. That's also a POV over the shoulder of Madame D's perspective, and you just see the world through her lens. It's beautiful. Check it out. Next film is probably in my top 10 favorite Criterions out of this whole collection, and that is Memories of Murder. Masterpiece. Masterpiece. I have no words to say for this film. This film you just need to pick up and watch. It is a historical drama that has several political elements like Bong Joon-ho likes to put in, and a ending that will send chills down your spine. The last Criterion release I want to recommend is the Wong Kar Wai box set. Now this doesn't come with all Wong Kar Wai films, but it comes with about 80%. It's missing 3 films. Every film in here is interesting and enjoyable and beautiful, and a great introduction to, say, art house cinema in general. If you're afraid of watching something a little too artsy, what Wong Kar Wai does is bring you in by, say, a genre element, and then he goes from there. So say Chungking Express, it's about police officer in like catching criminals, right? Okay, yeah, that's what it's about, but not really. It's about being lonely in the most populated city in the world. It's about finding love and about trying to achieve something in your life before you die. So, amazing box set. Check it out. Well, those were 9 films and 1 box set I would recommend anybody to pick up. If you're waiting for the Barnes & Noble sales in July or November, or you're ready to splurge and just buying whatever, all these films are worth it and you will not regret it. Tell me if you bought any of these films or what you would recommend in the comments below. Until next time, sayonara and see you later.